And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here to the Production Alliance Group 300 race number 20 of the debut season of the PCSRA Busch Series. After today's race, we only have 6 more races left to go before we find out the 12 drivers that will battle out in this season's chase for the championship. So time is starting to run out for drivers that have either a win and try and stay in the top 25 of the points, or B, a driver who's outside the top 25 in points. Time's running out for them to stay in the top 25 to have that win count for a spot in this season's chase for the championship. Brad Blackmon starts on the pole position, 6th in the points table, still looking for his first win of the year. Alongside Landon Ching in the number 4, dropped the spot down to 19th in the points table. Riley Roblier in row number 2 comes in this race 23rd in the points. He has a total of 18 points ahead of 25th in the standings. And Jay Green alongside, who gained 7 spots to 12th in the points after winning last week at Hillside. As you look at the rest of the grid for today's race, Jimmy Baker had mechanical problems, ran a 2:02 lap time. The points coming into this race, Azar Amirmoez is the points leader by 34 points over Diego Marquez. Malin Lee is third in the standings, 47 points back. 48 back is Annika Ricci, who dropped 2 spots after a tough race last week at Hillside. She is fourth. S Hsu is 50 points back in fifth, and it's Brad Blackmon, Drake Robertson, K Langeland, who's tied with Danny Rand, and Lucas Albon complete your top 10. As these cars are going to roll off, we had a 1 lap dash, or actually, no, we had a 3 lap dash in our Truck Series race here yesterday. And we had a wreck over in turn number 6, which we had 2 cautions, but because the leaders took the white flag, they had to race back to the checker flag. It's going to be 11 laps here today. It's going to be a longer race tomorrow for the Winston Cuppers as they get ready for the Bank of America 500 here at Papyrus. Pace car is going to pull off, going to lead the field in the hands of Brad Blackmon and Landon Chang. She also mentioned the Winston Cup Series will have some new drivers starting next week at Watkins Glen, which we'll get to that later. But first, let's get to the Papyrus for the Busch race. We're green for the Production Alliance Group 300. This is a drafting track, a road course, and it's a fun road course because 11 laps, these drivers won't have any issue with fuel, as Brad Black or Riley Roblier looking under Brad Blackmon. But here's my favorite camera angle. Watch this. That's all 40 race cars going in there on one shot. As Blackmon got the lead. Martindale starting to drop back. This corner is going to be a headache this weekend, as we saw a lot of wrecks in our truck race yesterday, which was 2. So is this corner right here. Drivers think they have a head of steam and they get caught up in somebody else's mess. We head to turn number 7 as we're going to complete the first lap. That's going to be by the Cellular One Chevy Monte Carlo out of Nemco Motorsports. That is Brad Blackmon. But here comes Riley Roblier, and here comes Landon Ching to the inside, but Blackmon will lead the first lap. So unlike Olivia Jackson, who led the entire race yesterday in the Truck Series event, this is our first lead change here this weekend, as Landon Ching had the lead, but now Jay Green's going to take it. Also, we should tell you about the drivers who are outside the top 25 in points that need to get in. Darby King, by the way, comes into this race at critical 25th position in points. 2 points as Jay Green got in the wall. Are we under caution? No, we're not. Okay, as we're checking the back of the field. Oh, yes, we are. The big one. Oh, Bates is in it. Bruno Wood, Annika Ricci. I was just about to get ready to mention Bruno Wood and Sally Ford. They're involved, and no doubt the caution is out. I was just about to get ready to mention about Sally Ford, who is 2 points behind 25th in the standings. Bruno Wood, 8 points back. Liliana Beta is a total of 14 back. And then 17 back Bart Simpson. Emily Green, who comes into this race. Let me look here real quickly. 33rd in the points. What is it? 310 minus 282. She was 28 points back at 25th in the standings. Justin Hugo, Chloe Carmichael got involved. There's Beta. I don't think the damage is too bad on that Payday Chevrolet, but that's a shame there. Caution's out for the first time today, just like our Truck Series race early in the race. Let's jump back and look at a replay to find out what happened. Well, here's what happened here. As you look at Michael Ford, who's skating the wall, made it 4 wide. He's going to come down into Liliana Beta, who's going to come down and collect Michael's sister, Sally. Then Sally's going to come up, get into her brother, and go into the wall. And there's where Justin Hugo gets the Payday Chevrolet. Danny Rant gets involved. We're being told Danny Rant was also involved in another incident. Drake Robertson got a piece there in the 92. There's where Bruno Wood, he hooks Annika Ricci. Morgan Le Fay got a piece of it. They can fix Bates' car, I can tell you that. Morgan Le Fay, Tico Jumiaka, another driver who got involved in this. As we have just had the big one on the straightaway going into turn number 6. And I see Azar Amirmoez involved in Bruno Wood. That's not what he needs, as he got some damage to the Toys R Us Chevrolet. But we're just being told there was a big wreck under the yellow. Let's investigate that right now. And here's why I say that. Danny Rant, who has already got a lot of damage, he's carrying way too much speed. And the field's checking up to meet up with the pace car. And you see the yellow lights are on. There's Jake Littletown in front, who runs in the back at Jimmy Baker's. This is a stack of effect. And then Danny Rant just runs in the back of the McDonald's Ford. Bruno Wood's going to run in the back of the 48. Luna Farmer's going to hit the 54. Then the 60 of Tony Lopez gets a piece of it. Azar Amirmoez gets more damage. So is K Langeland. And it just tips the Gular Pumps Chevy of Danny Rant. Morgan Le Fay doesn't slow down, runs into her teammate Azar Amirmoez. Sally Ford has more damage. Annika Ricci's got damage again. Got more damage to the yellow Chevrolet. Remember, Annika Ricci is in the top 10 of the points coming into today's race. So a lot of drivers involved did not need this. And we're going to have some drivers out of the race after this. And this could have some tale of whether Sally Ford's going to try to get herself in recovery mode heading into next week at the Glen. So that's what brought out the caution for the first time and the follow-up wreck. Let's jump back to the restart here at Papyrus. Green flag will come back in the air on lap number 7. This will be 5 laps to go. And, of course, all road courses will have no double file restarts. All will be single because of how short this race is. Jay Green is the leader. L Pelekai second. Riley Roblier third. Landon Chang fourth. Brad Blackmon, our pole sitter, in fifth. Taylor Valley in sixth. She will be driving for Indiana Motorsports next season, believe it or not. So congratulations to her. It was actually announced today, even though this is being taped later in 2025, but you get the picture. Suni Sue 7th, Prudence Martindale 8th, Lucy Myers 9th, Darby King 10th. That's critical for Darby King and a couple of other drivers that's critical for them, and I'll explain why. Malin Lee 11th, Bart Simpson 12th, critical for him because he's trying to get back in the top 25. Tulin Sapola 13th, Diego Marquez 14th, Emily Green 15th, also critical for Emily to get a good result today. Elizabeth Gardner 16th, Azar Amirmoez 17th, Kevin Lambert 18th, 19th is Makara Amirmoez, and 20th is April Winters. Noah Parker 21st, 22nd Blake Peppers, Lucas Albon 23rd with Michael Ford in 24th, who's got some right side damage on his machine. Drake Robertson 25th. Diego Marquez, by the way, second in points. Jimmy Baker 26th, 27th Jake Littletown, Luna Farmer 28th, all smashed up on that Albertsons Ford. Tico Jumiaka 29th and 30th is Annika Ricci. 31st, Justin Hugo. 32nd, Chloe Carmichael. K Langeland, 33rd. And Liliana Beta in 34th, who did come to pit road to repair the damage on her Payday Chevrolet. Drivers out after that, after a series of incidents, 6 to be exact. Azar Amirmoez, Danny Rant, tough break for Danny Rant. Azar having a tough season, 38th of the 38 drivers that are dead last in points of the 38 drivers that took every green flag this season. Danny Rant came in this race 9th in points, so that's going to be another hit for him. Bruno Wood out of the race. He will not be back in the top 25 after today. Tony Lopez is out of the race. He was 16th in the points. And he was a total of 31 points ahead of 25th in the standings, excuse me. I almost said 30th, don't know why. Morgan Le Fay is out and Sally Ford's out. Sally Ford was 2 points behind 25th in the standings. A 40th place finish is not going to cut it, and I'm not sure what this is going to do to Tony Lopez's 38th place finish, but I have a feeling he's going to be closer to that cut line heading into next week's race at the Glen, as we're going to have 5 laps of racing to go. So we're going to have a lot more green flag laps than our Truck Series race had yesterday, as we're back to green here at Papyrus. All 34 drivers that took the restart all on the lead lap. Nobody is a lap down, but I have a feeling with more green flag laps than what we had when we went back to green this time in the Truck Series race, which they went back to green with 3 laps to go. We went back to green with 5, so that's an extra 2 laps. I have a feeling lap traffic could come into play because an aerodynamic track like Hillside could play a factor in who's going to win this race. Jay Green looking for his 3rd win of the year as Riley Roublier just popped the wall. That's going to allow L Pelekai to take 2nd. L Pelekai was 18th in the points. She was a total of 27 points ahead of 25th in the standings. So if she gets another win, not only is this going to get her away from 25th position in the points, she's going to continue to build more and more of a cushion to get herself into the safety zone of possibly the top 15, if not the top 10 in the points. I bet you Liliana Beta and Chloe Carmichael had to get around all those damaged cars that were in the way. And we saw Jessie Art, who got involved in a wreck in the Truck Series race. She gained a few positions when drivers ahead of her crashed on the last lap of the race. And of course, we already took the white flag, so the next flag ended the race. So it was the yellow and the checker, as Mackay is still leading. How about Taylor Valley and her part-time schedule, having a good run? Right behind the state, the Starlight Pumps Dodge. There's Darby King, and this is critical for Darby King, because remember, she came in this race at that critical 25th position in the points. Looking to bounce back after a tough race last week at Hillside. We're seeing a minute 14 lap time. That is the best, and I believe they were like a minute 17 or 18 in yesterday's Truck Series race. Taylor Valley going to go to 2nd. Now, here's the thing about Topola and Valley. Even if those two go to victory lane, it's not going to change the playoff grid much because they're not going to make the top 25 in points. So Valley and Topola are just out here trying to find victory lane. That's all they're doing. Also should mention Lucy Myers is 34 points ahead of 25th in the standings. So, and she's up here running well, running in 3rd. So she's going to continue to build more and more of a cushion to get herself away from 25th in the standings, as Chloe Carmichael has lost the draft. I think she had some damage on that 5. Same with Hugo. Liliana Beta right behind Kyle Langeland, as they did fix the right side and the left side door of the Payday Chevrolet. Annika Ricci is going to take a hit 2 weeks in a row for her. And the bad thing for her is we're going to another road course race next week at the Glen. Azar Amirmoez not having a good run. And remember, she came as race the points leader. The guy who's trying to run her down for the points lead, Diego Marquez, where is he running? 14th. And was 34 points, so it looks like it's going to get eaten as Lucy Myers is going to take the lead. If Myers wins, it would be her second win, and she would also possibly solidify herself a spot into this season's chase for the championship. You think of Lucy Myers' career so far as, I see a couple of drivers like Emily Green, Darby King, who's up here. Emily Green was a total of 28 points back of 25th in the standings. Ironically, the gal that's behind her, that would be Darby King as we're coming to the white flag. Where is this going to situate her? The key thing is we're going to take the white flag. The key thing is for her, a lot of drivers ahead of her in the points have already crashed out of the race, like Wood, Ford, Sally Ford, Jumiaka. So it's going to be interesting to see where this is going to situate. As L Pelekai just took the lead. And of course, remember, if the caution comes out, we're racing back to the checker flag no matter if the caution comes out. And I don't think lap traffic is going to come into play. And it looks like Liliana Beta, I have a feeling she's going to need to start having good results or this could put her in trouble. She is going to beat Sally Ford and Bruno Wood as far as I'm concerned. But I don't know if a 32nd place finish is going to do her any good. We'll have to wait and see. As it looks like nobody's going to beat the Channel Lock Chevrolet, barring a mistake or barring if Landon Chang gets underneath the 43. As here comes Lila Bakai, who came into this race a total of 27 points ahead of 25th in the standings as the 99 went side by side. That might have just sealed it right there. And Lila Bakai, the only Hawaiian driver in the PCSRA, wins the Production Alliance Group 300, her second win of the year. And I don't know if I'm going to say this confirmedly, but has she done enough to possibly lock that playoff spot immediately? One more lap, Taylor Valley would have gotten her. But that's still a good result for Taylor Valley, who comes away in second. Landon Ching will get third, Jay Green fourth, Noah Parker will complete your top five. Then it was Tula Topola, good run for the part-timers of Valley and Topola. Lucy Myers will get seventh. Darby King did her chances of trying to make the playoffs a lot of good. An eighth place finish is going to help her get away from 25th position in the points. Prudence Martindale in ninth as the standings are now official. And Emily Green completes the top 10. And Emily Green's one of the drivers below 25th in the standings. We're going to see where this 10th place finish is going to situate her because she was 28 points back at 25th. She's not going to beat Darby King, though. Let's look at other drivers who have a win that are outside the top 25. Riley Rublier finished in 18th. He was a total of 18 points ahead of 25th in the standings. We'll see where this is going to situate. Bart Simpson, I'm not sure about 20th. That's going to be a little borderline as far as that is concerned, but we'll have to keep an eye on that, where this will put him in the standings. Azar Amirmoez, 23rd, came in this race the points leader. Diego Marquez finished 16th, came in this race second in points, as 33 taking a victory lap for some reason. But anyway, as you look on down through the rest of the finishing results here, and this is where I'm getting a little concerned for a couple of drivers that have wins that are outside the top 25, like Liliana Beta. I don't think 32nd is going to cut it, so she's running out of time to try to get some good results in the next 6 races now. Chloe Carmichael was the last driver to finish on the lead lap. Annika Ricci is going to drop through the points again 2 weeks in a row for her. Nobody finished the lap down, and 6 drivers finished out of the race after our only caution. Azar Amirmoez, Danny Rant, Bruno Wood. I think Bruno Wood's going to be in a lot of trouble. He'll be in recovery mode. Tony Lopez was above the playoff cut line by 31 points. Ooh, could he possibly be outside the top 25 in points? We'll have to wait and see. Morgan Le Fay and Sally Ford is going to be kicking herself as she finishes last. She was 2 points behind 25th in the standings. That gap is going to probably grow after today's race. But nevertheless, L Pelekai, who earlier in the middle part of the first half of the regular season was outside the top 25 playing catch-up, has this second win, might have given her a spot in the playoffs and continue to build that cushion between herself and 25th in the standings. We'll have to see in 6 races' time. But thank you all for joining me for today's race here on Papyrus. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give this video a like. Subscribe to become part of the PCSRA crew today. We showed your full finisher results. Your point standings are down in the description. Heading into next week at Watkins Glen. Next week, all 3 series will be at the road courses at 2 different tracks. Trucks will take on Sonoma. Busch and Winston Cup will head to Watkins Glen. But we got to finish up this race weekend, though, with the Winston Cuppers here at Papyrus before we head to upstate New York next week. We'll see you tomorrow for the Winston Cup race here at Papyrus. Until then, I've been D Devol signing off. Have a great rest of your day, my friends, as you've been watching yet another broadcast of PCSRA TV, where champions are made since 2010, and we celebrate 15 years as the best in racing around the world since 2017. Goodbye from Papyrus.